Watch this. There's something that you got to do. Give me Deuteronomy 12 and 13. Because you know a lot, right? But what are you doing in terms of changing?
Right.
We got to change. With change comes our kingdom. Watch this. Yeah, 12 and 12. 12 and 10, yeah.
10 and 12.
10 and 12. You got it. You got it. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12.
Listen to this. Don't go nowhere, brother.
I got work.
How long? Give me 10 more minutes. Give me 10 minutes.
And now Israel.
Now Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans who went into slavery on cargo slave ships.
What does the Lord thy God require of thee?
This is what your father is requiring of you right now.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
Fear him that if you don't keep his commandments, he's going to kill you a second death.
To walk in all his ways.
Keep his commandments.
And to love him. And to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. To keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes.
To love God is to keep the commandments of the Lord.
That's right.
Read.
And his statutes which I command thee this day.
He's commanding you right now. So now, you know who you are. There's certain things that you got to do as a people. And now, this is how you show your love to God and to Christ by keeping the laws. What is that already done? Listen to this, sis, and listen to this. Read.
The book of Leviticus.
Hold on for 1 second. Sis, do you believe the Bible?
I know all about it.
What do you believe the Bible?
Yeah, I know all about it.
Okay. All right. Watch it. King James Bible. Closest to the Hebrew. Closest to the Hebrew is King James. King James was a black man.
Yeah, I know King James.
His family ruled Europe from 193 over to the 1500s. Watch this, sis. Read.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 13 and verse 29. If a man or a woman have a plague upon the head or the beard.
Now, what's the topic? Plague. Is a plague a good or bad thing?
It's
bad. It's bad. Okay.
Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow, thin hair.
What is another word for yellow?
Blonde.
Blonde. That plague is blonde hair. Read.
Then the priest shall pronounce him unclean.
So right now, sis, you are pronounced unclean. And why do we do that? Because for so long, and the reason why I told you, move down for 1 second. Listen to this. I'm going to show you the middle game. If I ask any child that comes back here whether they believe in Christianity or not, if you ask them what Christ looked like, who do you think they're going to say?
Caesar.
See, and guess what you think?
I don't think that.
You do. Sis,
I don't.
you don't have to say it, but your actions, no, her actions show that. Because if you think that's prettier, you think he's pretty. This is what's ingrained in our head. Because with this comes a doctrine. You got the best hair in the world. Give me Revelations 1. But
this brother said no one knows.
Nobody knows what color he is. None of us was born in, so how the heck you gonna tell us?
You don't know, you don't even know who made cigarettes, but you still smoke them. You wasn't right. So you know they made a cigarette, right? Come on, bro. Bro, come on now. Even the young ladies correct you. Come on, let's think.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. Bring it out. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
The revelation. Revelation means to reveal. You know why? You know why we got to reveal Christ? Because the white man is controlling our brains and they're speaking through us by saying, nobody knows what Christ looks like.
Right.
That's what you hear in the churches.
Right.
He's just repeating, regurgitating what the white man taught him.
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't no white man said shit.
Read that part again.
Revelations 1 and 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So now we're going to reveal to you what Jesus Christ looks like. Jump down to verse 12.
Verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man.
When you say one like means you have to have seen that person to make a comparison. So this is John on the island of Patmos. He knows what Christ looked like. He looked and said, there's one like the Son of Man. Son of Man is Christ. And read. Copper skin. We're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
Read.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
So guess what? If he has clothing on, what does he have to have?
Fringes.
A body. Read.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle. Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
What did it just say? His hair was what?
White like wool.
Who has woolly hair?
Us blacks.
Blacks have woolly hair. But some of us that got woolly hair, we are puppets for the white man.
Right.
We are puppets for the white man. We don't love our people.
Right.
You know what? Our blacks is dying in the streets at the hand of our own people and at them.
Bring it out.
But guess what? They're not guilty. But we got puppets out here saying Christ didn't exist. You know what a Christ exists in his head? Hey, he's speaking to y'all. This is his Christ. Christ looks like you. We're going to do a process of elimination. Read that.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Who has woolly hair on the face of the earth?
We
You
do.
so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Guess who else has it? Christ. He doesn't have dog hair like his Jesus does. It's not like his Jesus.
Right, bring it out.
Read.
As white as snow.
Why was it white? We call white hair gray hair. So Christ had white hair and he had an afro. Guess what? Does this guy have white afro type hair? Yes, yes. Read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Now, normally when you look at all these pictures, they show you Christ's eyes, the white guy, as either being blue, green, brown. You know why? Because that's typically not the color of our eyes. But watch this. Let's see what color Christ's eyes were. Because I gotta ask you a question. In Christianity, right, they teach us that you're not allowed to drink. What was Christ's first miracle?
What was his what?
First miracle. He turned water to what?
Wine.
He drank in moderation. They called him a wine bibber.
Yeah.
And the glut, he drank in moderation. You're allowed to drink wine.
Wine will turn
And if you're
opposite.
old enough, like I am, in your 40s or 50s, your mom used to look at your eyes and say, boy, was you drinking the red of your eyes. Watch this, read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 12. Read it out. His eyes shall be red with wine.
Read that again.
His eyes shall be red with wine.
Christ's eyes was red because the whites of his eyes was red because he drank wine. Strike three against this devil. This is who's in our mind, not this. This is what we look like. Read, go back.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
Look at the young lady's feet. All of their feet are brass. The top of their feet are brass. A derivative of brown is what? Brass. But listen to this. Or let me ask a question. If I take white bread and bone it in the toaster,
It turns black.
it turns black.
Right.
Watch this.
And his feet like unto fine brass,
Already brown in color.
as if they burned in a furnace.
So we always like to stop at, yeah, he's brass. What did it just say?
As if they burned in a furnace.
What color was Christ? He had woolly hair. He had an afro. He had bronze skin as if it burned in a furnace. What nationality would Christ be today?
Black.
Black. And this is John on the island of Patmos.
That's right.
Now, let's go into, give me colors not in the Bible. Because we are still conditioned to believe our slave masters. Sis, so what that mean is, what kind of hair did Christ have?
He had woolly hair.
And what do you got?
I have woolly hair.
No, what do you got right now?
I have this blonde
Right.
hair that
Give me my
I shouldn't be wearing.
You should thank you, and I'm gonna show you, sis, because what you don't understand is
It says blonde is a plague, and when I have this hair on, it's like
Your plague.
It's my plague.
And think about it. Here's the thing. That brother and the majority of us have this in our mind. So a lot of times when we hear that Christ existed, you know what they taught us? Christ don't exist, or he don't have no color, or he's all color. I ain't never seen a green person before.
And then they say he loves everyone, but he
Doesn't
not
love.
everyone.
Watch
The
this.
book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31.
Listen to this, sis.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy not thou thank you. Dang, he's getting correct.
Can I
Yes, you
address
can.
something? Can I address something? Give me that 1 Kings chapter 2. We're out here teaching the upliftment of our people, right? And we have a childlike brother, child mentality man who wants to speak against us when we're telling our people, stop dogging the black woman out and marry her. Stop killing your own kind. And we have gainsaying black people, immature, childish men speaking against that.
Right.
And here go a white lady who tells him to shut up, just like she tells you to shut up.
God is all coming.
She tells the black immature man to shut up because you should be listening to what your own kind is teaching.
Right.
Give me what manhood is in 1 Kings. You childlike men. Show me one person that's all colors.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2 and verse 2. I go the
You
way.
ain't trolling me nothing. You out here to learn. Read.
I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
King David is about to tell you black men what it means to be a man. It ain't that you're a male. It ain't that you're able to bear children. You have to do something. Manhood comes with stipulations. Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
What does it mean to keep the charge of the Lord thy God? It's to keep the commandments. That's what we're out here teaching you.
Right.
But you glorify gangbanging. You glorify drug dealing. We're from the streets. We are from where you're from. So we know what you glorify. Don't perpetrate and pretend.
Right.
Come on, read.
To walk in his ways.
To walk in his ways.
To keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses,
Go ahead.
that thou mayest prosper in all thou doest, and wheresoever thou turn thyself.
You want prosperity? You want your conditions to change? How must you do it according to this verse? It's to keep the commandments of God.
That's right.
That's why you're housed in the ghetto. That's why you're placed in the penitentiary. That's why you're a young man. At any moment, someone can shoot you in the face, be it your own kind or your enemy. Why? Because you represent the strength of black men because of you. You represent all that's an enemy to them. But you want to love, not saying you, but us as a people, we want to love everybody. Y'all think we're out here to teach hate? We're not out here to teach hate. We're telling you to turn from your wicked ways.
Right.
We're telling you to keep the commandments of God.
Right.
That's it. It's going to be offensive. Why do you think they killed Christ? You think because he was giving people hugs is why he got killed? That's a foolish way of thinking. He got killed because he told his people to stop being wicked.
That's right.
Come on, give me Isaiah 30. If manhood is you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right? What are we like? What are men like today who don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments? Who walk around thinking that being in a gang is the best thing. Whoring out our sisters, not marrying them. Those are good things to them. We big pimps. Ain't that how they act? We pimps, not taking care of their children. Come on. Lying children. You can start at 8.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 8. Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come.
That's why the Bible says, write it beforehand. Note it in the book. So it'll be for a time to come where this time is the time that the Bible's speaking about. Where you're not going to be able to deny who you've been, how you've been acting thus far, like children. Because every man or male who's against God's law, statutes, and commandments is actually a child. Come on.
Now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for the time to come, forever and ever, that this is a rebellious people.
Rebellious people is somebody who don't want to hear nothing, don't want to do right. They want to turn up in the club as if turning up in the club got us somewhere.
Right.
We've been in this country for 400 years, partying every 4th of July, partying every Thanksgiving, partying every Christmas, and it hasn't gotten us nowhere.
That's right.
But guess what 4th of July always represented? It represented the so-called white Americans' freedom to do whatever they wanted in this country from Britain. But where were you at during 4th of July in 1776? Where was your people at?
Slavery.
You was a slave. What? Who in their right mind is celebrating holidays like this when it had nothing to do with you? Thanksgiving is another example.
Yeah.
People take it as, oh, that's a time for me and my family to get together. Well, God say every Saturday is the Sabbath day. This is a holy convocation for you. You bring your family together on that day. He says that Hanukkah, or the Feast of Dedication, a holiday that represents our fight against the so-called white man when he tried to put us into slavery, take our culture from us, and take our Bible from us. And we fought him back. That's why you got the Bible today. That's why you have it today. Because some men stood up to fight against oppression so you can know your history in the last days. Come on.
Lying children.
Lying children. What? What are you? You're a lying child because of why? Go for the top again.
That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
So our black men and our black women, but we're talking about manhood right now. The manhood does not exist in our community anymore. You know why? Because you wasn't allowed to read the Bible during slavery. So you had to create what's righteousness in your own mind all the way up till now.
And they had the slave Bible,
You're right.
which they took stuff out of the Bible so that we would be like the slave master would take stuff out of the Bible so that the oppressor would be like, yeah, God said you are slave, you have to do what the oppressor does. And then they created a slave Bible.
Now, with all that information, sis, what are you going to do with it? Because it becomes a moot point. It's just useless knowledge if you cannot apply it to your life. Because they created the slave, the black man and black woman was created in the laboratories of America.
Right.
Okay? We were created here. Our minds was wiped and it was refilled with their mind. This is why we're able to hate each other on contact. I don't like you the way you looking at me. You bumped me. You stepped on my shoes. I need to kill you. You need to kill me. We're looking at each other through the eyes of a person that hates us. He shaped and molded the way we look at each other. This is not a diss. He'll tell you that. He'll tell you that. There's many scholars, many white scholars in prestigious colleges that will tell you that. Prestigious historians. That's very popular. And they'll tell you what's wrong with America today. Because they understand that if that continues, which is never going to stop, will lead to the destruction of America, which is going to come. You can't stop. Well, where you at? Come on.
The book of Isaiah chapter 30, verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesies not unto us right things.
The Bible has to fit somebody. Somebody has to make up what it said and be that one everybody can point to and be like, yo, that's what the Bible's talking about, or that's who the Bible's talking about.
Right.
They're lying children, children who do not want to hear the law of the Lord. And they say to the prophets, see not. And what does it say to the prophets, see not?
See not, and to the prophets, prophesies not unto us right things.
Don't tell us the things that we need to do to change our condition. So you'll see immature black men doing what they're doing, and then you notice the brother was quiet. He didn't say anything else because he felt stupid after this young lady told him to shut up.
Right.
She told him to shut up. You know why? Because she can see the problem and the debilitating disease that black people have. You're poverty stricken, you like it. The white man can come through your neighborhood and build a whole community, fresh and clean. And guess what would happen to that community in 10 years? Somebody's gonna sell crack on the corner. Somebody's gonna piss in the stairwell. Somebody's gonna write spray paint on the daggone side of the building. That's what happens. You know why? Because your mentality is destroyed.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have abandoned. We
say that I'm a Jew, it sound odd. For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.